Prepare yourself.
The opinions of the host and guests on this show are exclusively just that, opinions. That means that they shouldn't be the cause of your state of being offended. Why does everybody get so butthurt?
Okay, let's go. Ready, go!
Sit down, shut up, and pay attention.
Damn!
This is the Rants of Izzo Show with your host, Dominic Izzo, from porn to politics. We touch every third rail we can find. You might want to put your headphones on so your mom can't hear this. It's been called the most entertaining 60 minutes on the internet, and it starts now. Let's do this.
All right, good afternoon. Rants of Izzo Show here on Spreely.com. All things spoken freely. Speak freely. Go to Spreely.com and check out all the other shows that we have listed on there, like the Burn Pit Podcast, Report and Opine, Shannon Joy Show, Evening Rants, and more. News articles, free speech, social media, where if you even do something like have a discussion about Israel, you're not going to get banned like other platforms have banned us. Or when you have on like Lola, who's extremely opinionated, you don't get banned as well either. Sorry about the technical difficulties. We appreciate if you're watching live. We're working on some stuff. Christy St. Regis joins today. How are you? It's good to see you. Oh my gosh, you're becoming a regular. We enjoy you on. Thank you for joining today.
I love it.
All right, listen, I asked you to come on, and of the shit I was looking at for a show, I was going to look at the most recent Trump assassination shooter, and because Trump's your guy, he's daddy. I went to go pull up, and I'm not finding any information on the alleged gunman. So I asked you, I'm like, dude, let's talk about this. What do you hear about Trump daddy and his third assassination attempt? And I know it's got to be hitting you pretty close. You starting to sweat a little bit that daddy might not be around to grab you by the snatch when it comes down time?
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, obviously. Anytime I hear like any sort of attempted assassination on daddy, like my heart goes a little crazy like that. I mean, that would be a horrible one because I love him, but two, like the more important one is like our country literally needs him. Like we can't have him. Like he's precious cargo.
Yes. What do you know? Tell us about what you've discovered, because I asked you to do a special report on this. What can you break down for the most recent Trump assassination attempt?
Okay, so first of all, this most recent Trump assassination attempt, I actually don't think was an assassination attempt at all. It's really strange, to be honest. I think this guy, I don't want to say, I know he thinks they're like plotting against him. I don't necessarily think I believe that, but I do think they were like kind of like setting him up, or just like trying to just like the sheriff didn't have anything better to do. It's very strange. So his name is Vem Miller. He is a Trump supporter, and he actually has he does podcasts and stuff. It's called America Happens, and like they have podcasts, and it's like exposing like all the corrupt and like how the government's like stealing money and all this stuff like that. So I don't think he's someone that would target Trump. Like he's a known Trump supporter. He went to the RNC. He's been around like Trump and Trump's family, like very close. There's videos of him being very close to him and like a lot of big people, big Republicans, and he's even run for office before, and we didn't get it, but he's like very involved in politics and the Republicans, so I just don't think he would actually try to assassinate him at all. But the story gets kind of weird. He kind of like, I don't want to say set himself up, but he kind of accidentally set himself up, I think.
Do you think this is where the media and liberal left is trying to say, see, even Trump supporters want him gone, so they're labeling him to be the massive danger that he is to a threat to our national way of life? Is that kind of planned?
Yeah, 100%. I think they purposely wanted to be like look, like the Trump supporters, the crazy Trump supporters, they're so far right that they're all crazy. Look, they even they're doing crazy things. They're even shooting now. Like, it's not just the left, like, I think they just want to make Trump supporters look as crazy as humanly possible. When he was going to the rally and he claims he had like a VIP pass to the rally. People are saying it's fake. He's saying it's not, and you can verify it. I'm not really sure. I don't think it would be fake just based on what I have learned so far. But he had guns in the backseat of his truck or the back in the trunk of the truck. And when he got to the rally, like pulled up to his sheriff to let him know that they were in his car. And he wasn't going to bring them into the rally. He said he just wanted to let them know. And then that's when this whole thing happened. And it's just like, why did you do that? Like, why didn't you just like park your car and like leave the guns in your car?
That sounds like somebody who, I don't think this guy's a real Trump supporter. Sounds like maybe he was set up in the last couple of, however long he's been doing his podcast and whatnot, claiming to be pro-Trump. Who the hell goes to a Trump rally with firearms in their possession at all? Hey, Sheriff, by the way, just to let you know, I got some guns back in my car. I'm planning on bringing them in, but I just came back from a hunting trip. And that sounds way, way too sus for me.
Yeah, it's very strange that he had them in his car and like told them. I mean, I feel like he's saying like, well, this is what he's saying. He's saying that once he started doing these podcasts, like exposing the government, that he started getting really nasty letters, and he's not actually like really like a gun person. Although he respects like the Second Amendment, he's not really a gun person. But when he started getting these letters, his friend got a gun, so he like decided he should get one for safety. But it's also a little strange that he said he's never shot these guns before. And like he got them for safety, but he's never shot these guns before, and he's never shot a gun actually in his life, which is honestly just really stupid to like buy a gun but not practice using it, because how are you actually going to use it if you're in danger if you don't know how to use it because you've never even used one before?
Well, your favorite potential Madam President owns a Glock, and she shot it before. I honestly think, yeah, I think that one of the things that they're doing is they're trying to usurp the pro-gun lobby by saying, look, here's your third attempt, and maybe we do need some laws in the book. Yeah, if they're trying to take out Trump 3 times, we need to vote against him or for his own protection. We need to vote for Harris, who want to bring in more gun laws. I could see that happening, but it just doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
I could definitely see that happening as well, because like, I mean, they're totally trying to do that, I think. But I think the sheriff, like, I don't think he likes Trump supporters, and I think he kind of was just like exercising his right. I feel like as a cop, I don't know. I feel like he's kind of being like a shitty like sheriff. To be honest, just being like, I'm in power. Like, I don't know why. Like, I don't know why it became this big of a deal, to be honest. But apparently, Ben said that like he didn't like Trump supporters, and he could hear him like making fun of Trump supporters. So I kind of feel like he was like messing with him a little bit.
I don't know. I think this is going to be probably one of the strangest elections that we've ever seen. I personally have said this before. I don't have any faith in the upcoming election. I actually think they're going to try to steal it. Well, they're not trying. They are trying to steal it from them again. And at the same time, no, I do not think that I don't think he's going to get him back in. I think they're going to do everything they can to make everybody feel crazy and then say, see, Harris is the obvious solution.
I 100% think they're going to try to steal the election. I 100% think they want to try to make all Trump supporters seem super crazy. And yeah, they're obviously doing that. I hope that they don't succeed, but it's really, really scary.
I just saw something I'm trying to look up right now. Apparently Trump rally was shut down because of illness, reported illness in the crowds. I just saw a really.
Oh, okay. I don't know anything about that, but I did hear something, and this is probably what it was, that I think they thought it was like another potential fourth assassination, And it was like because they, I don't know, brought something in that would make people sick or something.
Well, more anthrax. They're bringing in anthrax now for the crowds. You're not
I don't know.
safe.
I literally didn't like look into it. I just heard that there was like a fourth one, and it sounds like what you're talking about.
I gotta find this. It was just friggin' here. I'm scrolling. It's on social media. We can look. Here we go. Former President Donald Trump vowed to make house, energy, and groceries more affordable at a town hall Monday night. Okay, the caption just says Trump forced to cut Pennsylvania town hall short after multiple audience members experience health emergency. I gotta look at this. Trump.
Yeah, I was saying like someone brought something in to do that on purpose.
What the hell? Hall cut short. This is breaking news and how we wind up dealing with stuff at the Rants of Izzo. Here we go. Trump rally in Oaks, Pennsylvania, about 20 miles outside of Philadelphia, was abruptly cut short on Monday evening after two attendees needed medical attention, and then took an unusual turn after they were taken from the venue. Trump was fielding questions from voters, with South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem moderating, when a man in the crowd apparently fainted 30 minutes into the session. That looks a little bit bad, Trump said, as a stretcher was brought into the site. While the man was being treated, the Q&A stopped, and during the pause, Trump asked his staff backstage to work quickly and play Ave Maria, one of his favorite songs. The Trump crowd also sang God Bless America a cappella. I got to ask this. Listen, we know that you love Trump. Do you, I know you do, and I'm never going to, I question him. I voted for him. I will vote for him again. Do you think that the Trump worship and the Trump elevating to Christ-like status does him detriment, or does it do us detriment as a people? I don't know if you see that, but you get like the MAGA crowd who worships him. A crowd is singing God Bless America a cappella. It's God Bless America, but do you see any detriment to the Trump worship and how it could hurt America down the road?
I personally don't, but you might then think I'm crazy, but like, I honestly think we're in a spiritual warfare right now, and I think it's good versus evil. I mean, literally the left, the swamp, literally worships the devil. Mm-hmm. So I really do think it's literally a spiritual warfare, and like Donald Trump is on our side, which is the good side, aka the Christian godly side, and then, you know, the swamp, the left, they're all literally worshiping the devil, bringing evil, and like, personally, I think they kind of go hand in hand.
There is that. I don't disagree with you at all as far as leftist ideology is. It's satanic by nature. One of the biggest things, like with the trans issue, and Lola and I have talked about this many times. When you like, I'm 5'7", I'm a shorter man, and if I wanted to get leg extensions, right, break your thigh bones, and then insert 2 inches in there of whatever type of poly bone they create, I'm saying God did not create me perfectly. And I'm saying I know better than my creator, because he wants me to play in the NBA, and so I'm going to make myself taller. And I know it's an extreme example, but when you try to change your gender, oh my God, what do you do with all the kids? And they sit there and, you just don't need to listen to your parents. Here's some hormone blockers. You are by definition becoming satanic, because you're removing the perfection that you were created from your creator from the equation and saying, I know best. That is literally satanic. Where I do agree with you in one aspect is, what I like about Trump is I like strength in leadership. I could never have been a successful wrestler if I had coaches who were like, oh, yeah, you want to practice 3 times today? That's fine. Just 2 practices a week is fine. I needed a ball buster who cracked the whip, who said, fucking do that again 1,000 times. If I went to a job and you got your employer, well, if you want to clock in 5 minutes late, that's fine. We know the business will go to hell. I would like to see, this is what I always wanted. I wanted to see Trump less with the rhetoric and more with the cracking whip. I like when you hear the stories about him telling foreign leaders, yeah, I got a picture of your house. If you even think about attacking again, I know where you live. I like that shit more. That is direction. I say all the time that dogs dogs are a pack animal, and they have this mentality where if they don't know who the alpha in the pack is, that's where they get social anxiety. They chew up your couch when you're gone. When you crack the whip, take them on walks, tire them out, crate train them, all this, then they're happy because they know their pecking order. Do more Americans, do we need less of Trump's, mouthy rhetoric and more of him just borderline, and I'll say this, everyone wants to categorize him as a dictator. Do we need more of that strong borderline dictator relationship or leadership to right the course correction of this fucked up country?
I mean, I love when he does like the really leadership, like I have a picture of your house kind of thing. But I like both. I like that he's dynamic. I think it goes good hand in hand. I mean, I'm one of his biggest fans, so maybe that's just me, but like I love his attitude and personality.
Well, clearly, Christy, we're trying to get you on the Trump campaign. We're trying to get so much exposure. He's like, I have to have her on my stuff. Soon after the man was taken out of the venue, Trump began answering questions on immigration when another medical incident erupted the town hall. Ave Maria came back on, and as staffers made their way to the individual, Trump then requested a different version of Ave Maria sung by Luciano Pavarotti, my generation's best tenor of all time. The former president, then decided to preempt the remainder of the town hall. Quote, let's not do any more questions. Let's just listen to music, Trump said, right after offering explanation as to change his plans. Who the hell wants to hear questions, right? Several songs of the former president's playlist play for the next 40 minutes, including It's a Man's World by James Brown. And as Trump and Noam stood on stage, and Trump swayed to the music while Noam smiled and clapped. An American Trilogy by Elvis Presley, Nothing Compares to You by Sinead O'Connor, two of his favorite songs. He's got a little soft spot, Sinead O'Connor. Filled the room as Trump and Noam periodically half danced and listened to the playlist, and a panel of supporters that were also standing behind them on stage. Trump campaign Twitter accounts said that the former president, quote, turned this town hall into a concert. Something very special is happening here in Pennsylvania right now at the Trump Hall. Trump campaign communications director Stephen Jung said in a post, real Donald Trump is unlike any other politicians in history, and it's great. I do like that side of him that the media does not show, where clearly, because they call him a narcissist, which you have to have narcissistic tendencies to be in massive positions of leadership, but they don't show the human side of him where two people in his audience needed medical attention and he suspended things because it was the right thing to do. So he's got some great qualities. I just wish those would be shown more.
Yeah, I wish they would be shown more too. I mean, there's examples of that, and just even like he's a grandpa, and they like don't show like the soft like family side to him, even though he has such a huge family. They're always around him. They don't show like the soft sides to him. They want to just make him look like a monster. I mean, they just want to make him look as bad as possible.
Well, okay. So if Christy St. Regis was reached out today and said, hey, listen, we got like 3 weeks left and we need a massive boulder in the pond splash sized campaign strategy. Christy, we're giving you an unlimited budget. What would you do to wake up the rest of the undecided voters and get them all voting for Daddy Trump on November 5th?
That's a good question.
You're interviewing for his cabinet. Let's go.
I don't really know what I would do, because I just think the people that are not voting for him are just super asleep and brainwashed. I don't think there's really hope for them. I honestly think that we are the majority, and I don't even need to sway voters, because there are so many Republican Trump voters that we'd win regardless, as long as it's free and fair. Like, I don't really think we need to even convince people, because we're the majority. But how would I convince them? I don't know. I don't get along well with others on the other side, so we'd probably just start fighting, because I'd call them like retarded and they just.
You can't say that anymore. You can't say retard, faggot, cunt. You can't say that, even though we love those words.
You can't say that. It's not politically correct. I don't really care about that stuff. I care about being real. And I'm sorry, but they are retarded.
Oh my God, the fucking show's going in the toilet today. We had technical difficulties like crazy. All right, let's talk about some social issues. Here's a recent article that was put out today, which I think is very telling. Youth sex trafficking. Did you ever follow? I don't know about you, but it seems just a matter of months ago, earlier in the year, we had the hashtag God's Children Are Not For Sale circulating like crazy. And that movie, I don't remember what it was, by Jim Caviezel was in it, and this massive move to raise awareness about child sex trafficking was all over the place, and people were making their T-shirts, send all pedophiles to the wood chippers, and blah, blah, and it just seemed to disappear because people are fickle. They don't give a shit about anything anymore.
And like there was a movie before that movie, and it was Operation Tucson, and it was like a documentary, and it followed Tim Ballard around, and he literally they were going overseas and like finding all these children that were getting sold. They were pretending they were going to buy them and like exposing it. But that was years ago. And then this other movie came out. I didn't even watch that movie because I already knew what was going on like before that. But that's what the left is doing. They're like majorly sex trafficking and human child trafficking. And anyone that seems to try to expose it just magically dies.
What?
Yeah, so many people are dying. I mean, even Avicii didn't kill himself. He was exposing human trafficking in like one of his songs. The whole music video is exposing it.
Wait, who are you talking about? I missed the name. Who?
Avicii. Remember when like Avicii mysteriously killed himself?
No, I don't. I'm not hip to young kids' music.
Okay. He's a DJ.
Okay.
He was exposing human trafficking, and he was working on a documentary, and he made a song about it, and the music video exposes it, and then he like magically committed suicide.
I had a conversation with Rachel the other day. We were talking about Chester Bennington. Do you know who he was?
Was he in Lincoln Park?
He was in Lincoln Park. So I'm going to show this because this is a rabbit hole I went down for a long time. If you ever listen to Chester Bennington, his music lyrics were angry and they were great and all this. And during the time, I don't know if you fell into the QAnon thing, but I did big time. I was hook, line, and sinker. You can still find it if you go to Vice Media. They put me in a documentary on the QAnon thing, and they interviewed me for 2 hours plus, and they edited 5 minutes of everyone said, don't do it. I'm like, fuck you, I'm going to do it. I don't care how they make me look. They made me look like a transphobe racist who believes that Michelle Obama is a man, which I think that she is. Well, I think that she is. And it was hilarious because the aftermath of the interview, the broad who interviewed me with the guy, I'm the only person in the documentary. The only person in the documentary, they critiqued the interview afterwards, and she was like, well, that was intense. You know, Dominic is very, he's scary, and he says, you know, he's a narcissist, and you know, and they acted like they were all intimidated of me, but they were the nicest fucking people I had met in a long time. But during that, we had Pizzagate, which for those who don't remember, it was all over the internet like crazy. And it was the alleged John Podesta emails and Hillary Clinton emails going around talking about code. Like pizza was for girl, hot dog was for boy. And they showed things like John Podesta reaching out to his brother. Hey, do you want to come over for pizza for an hour? And it's like, well, that's kind of cryptic. And then Obama apparently ordered like $30,000 worth of pizza from Chicago for a party at the White House. And then you got Christy Teigen and John Legend in an interview once. What's the craziest, sexual escapade?
Obama.
Right. Well, you see his face. Christy Teigen was asked, what's the craziest like sexual thing you guys have done? And Christy Teigen goes, was that the Obama thing? And John Legend just goes white. And he's like, Christy goes, oh, I'm in trouble. And he goes, I don't know what you're talking about. But one of the biggest things back then was John Podesta. And there you can Google it for yourself, and you're not going to find much because the internet was pretty much scrubbed from it. But one of the things that they talked about was John Podesta. There was an alleged audio of him abusing a young boy in the shower, they said. And I listened to the audio, and I thought it was 100% real, because when you hear this young boy screaming, you hear John Podesta, allegedly, and Podesta's going, "What's my name?" And the kid is screaming, "Skippy, your name is Skippy." And it was a clear, like, I don't know if he was beating him or whatnot, but if you ever hear Podesta's staffers talk about him, they say that his alter ego is Skippy. And when Skippy comes out, he turns into a fucking savage running the White House when he was involved with that. But it's not podcast, it's Podesta. Anyways, so I heard that, Podesta. I heard that, and I looked into more of his involvement, if you will. And there's a missing girl over in London, and the sketch artist who saw the two men who were like last hanging around her were very eerily similar to Podesta and his brother. But this is huge. I don't know if you've ever seen this photo. I'm going to pull it up for everyone here. When you think, because my summation was, holy shit, that kid in the shower, he had to be Chester Bennington. Because do they not look like father-son?
Oh, yeah, I heard that. I'm pretty sure they are father-son.
So this was my thing, right? All right. So Podesta has a kid, and now all of a sudden you're going to Operation Mockingbird or whatever the CIA thing was to brainwash them. Oh, Mockingbird's the news media. I can't remember what the other one is for the brainwashing all the school shooters and shit. But, oh my God, you want this kid to shut up? You promise him skyrocketing fame in the music industry. And when you listen to all of Bennington's lyrics and his song, it is chock full of traumatic pain. And it sounds 100% like I was raped and passed around as a kid, so I'm going to take it out in my art. I don't know if you've ever gone down that rabbit hole.
Oh, yeah, no, I totally have. Have you ever watched the documentary Fall of the Cabal?
Oh, yeah, my God. I actually, yeah, she's dead. Janet Osbart is dead.
Yeah, they killed her. She was going to make a second one. And
well, I almost got her on for an interview. Her and I, we were DMing a little bit. And I'm like, man, your work is fantastic. I need to get you an interview, blah, blah, blah. And we just never schedule it. And then you find out she was dead.
Yeah. Yeah. And that wasn't an accident. But yeah, that's where I first and foremost learned about all of this stuff. And then I started researching it more and more. But I 100% think that's what happened to him. And that's what he was taking out on his artwork, like you said, whatever. And I think that also happened to, what's his name? Anderson Cooper.
Oh my God, yes. Talk about that. Explain what happened.
Griffin.
No, break that one down. What happened with that one? Tell everybody.
Okay, so Anderson Cooper grew up in the Biltmore Mansion, and his mom openly worshiped the devil. There's pictures of him and his mom, like with devil worshiping statues over his bed. And there's a pool in the Biltmore Mansion, and there's artwork of this pool with little kids hanging with their wrists tied and hanging in the pool. And like one of them looks exactly like Anderson Cooper, where he grew up. And then all of a sudden he's just like has this like fame and big career. And I think they really do torture their children and then give them, like you said, like fame and stuff. And he had a brother growing up, and the brother, I think they said he committed suicide.
Yeah, he committed suicide.
Yeah, but then they're like, Kathy Griffin looks literally the same. Like they look so much alike if like you just take away like the hair and stuff. So they actually think the brother didn't commit suicide, and that like they transgendered the brother, and that's now Kathy Griffin.
Holy shit, I've never fucking heard that. Oh my God, I never heard. This is the photo you're talking about. This is Cooper and his brother, and this is Gloria Vanderbilt. And in the background, who the hell has this displayed in their room? It's like a satanic nun, witch, priest, two angels here, decapitated head, cross here, and this altar of fire, and this, which is hard to, well, here, I could zoom in, look at that. If you look at this, it's Christ in a fucking coffin. It's a bearded man in a coffin. These are angels. Here, a cock. It's a chicken or whatever. Cross. I don't know what this is. What is this? What? A decapitated head here. This is completely satanic, dude. Completely satanic.
It's very satanic. And like you mentioned earlier, how like transgendering the children is satanic. Like, so that's why it's not that far off that they would have transitioned and the brother and Mina Kathy, because they're into that stuff.
Yeah, the pool thing. I remember the art.
And you pulled the pool picture. Like, it's nuts.
Yeah, again, the internet got scrubbed with so much stuff. It blows me away. But yeah, for those who don't know what she's saying, in the Fall of Cabal series, which was great, it was 10 parts, 30 minutes apart, 30 minutes each segment, and was 5 and 7. Episodes 5 and 7 were the ones that talked about Pizzagate, Comet Ping Pong. Nobody talks about James Alefantis anymore. Nobody's talking about Comet Ping Pong and the art that was in there, or even James Alefantis's Instagram, which was opened, and he would show like Kill Room and all 100%. I guess that's one of my biggest issues is we went from that, which I believe 100%. I really do. You have, like, I'll give an example, the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church does, for most intents and purposes, a ritual every Sunday. Now, I grew up Catholic, so every Sunday it's the duplication process of the sacrifice, and it's the perpetuation of it, which when you really break down, especially if you're doing faith, it doesn't make any sense because Christ is the sacrifice once and done. So why are we elevating the sacrifice? Why are we repeating that every Sunday? Never made sense to me. But for every light ritual, you have to have a dark ritual. I've said this for years. Have you ever seen the movie The Dark Crystal?
No.
It's a Jim Henson production. Jim Henson, who was responsible for the Muppets. If you're my age, you grew up on The Dark Crystal. And if you remember, what did they have? You had the Skeksis, who were these like reptilian lords, right? Reptilian. And they found the formula to live forever by drinking the essence of the Gelfling. But they ran out of Gelfling. So they were using podlings. And if you remember in the movie, they strap a podling to the chair. The dark crystal comes down. The beams go in to the eyes and kind of zombify the podling. And then they get you see them like shrink like a raisin. And this flask fills up with podling essence, adrenochrome. And then they drink it. And then the Skeksis king goes, the emperor goes young, but it only lasts for about 30 seconds. And he says, this is not as effective as Gelfling essence. Well, I've said this a million times. If you're a person of faith and you believe, we're saved by the blood of Christ. Okay, so his sacrifice, one and done, spilt blood, washed all sins away. Well, the devil can't duplicate that. So the devil needs multiple, infinite blood sacrifices done. So to your point about being in a spiritual war, yeah, I think that's what like Planned Parenthood is, the constant murdering of babies. And I legitimately believe there are satanic rituals. I believe that some of these cults, they have kids legitimately for the purpose of sacrificing them. I seriously fucking do. But we're not talking about that anymore. We've gone from all of 2019, 2020, 2021, the hashtag storm is coming, hashtag nothing can stop what's happening, where we go one, where we go, all that shit, which was extremely important to expose, frazzle drip, all that, to now it's just, Trump is crazy.
Yeah, now it is. But I think it might come back and it actually might all get exposed once Trump's back in office, which hopefully he will be. I mean, all the conspiracy theories that they were calling us crazy about, now they're all out in the open and they are true. So the ones that haven't come to light yet, I think they will. Because it's annoying that people seem to have like forgotten about it. Like, it's not like, I remember like a few years ago. And this was like all I would like research on Instagram and stuff. Like I was just following all these accounts and that was like all that would pop up. And it's not really like that anymore, but hopefully it all comes to light. I think it will, honestly, as long as Trump gets back into office.
One of the things that I'm worried about with that is, like, I guess, I don't know if you know anything about this, but he had said, and here's, I want to pull this up for everyone to see as well, too. I can't find the Anderson Cooper one just yet, but this is some of the John Podesta art. Look at these little children in red shoes, because you got the Red Shoe Club, and they're all in their underwear, and that's the background of the pool. When you look at the background of this pool, it matches to the Vanderbilt home pool, swimming pool.
Exactly. It's that exact pool.
Yeah, it blows me away.
And with the red shoes and their human child trafficking and sacrificing them and the adrenochrome thing, like it literally is all summed up in like the artwork.
I wanted to ask you about, they had said that if Trump gets back into office, that he's going to release the Epstein list. Are you hopeful about that?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely very hopeful about that. And I've heard, they're scared of that too. That's like why so many people are pushing Kamala, because they're on the list and they don't want that to be exposed. So that's why so many celebrities are endorsing Kamala in the first place, because they need that protected.
Do you have any fear with all the it's October's halfway over now, and we haven't had that October surprise yet. And Diddy is in the news like crazy. Do you have any fear whatsoever of them tying Trump to him? Because pictures are circulating around. He rubs shoulders with everybody. Do you think they're going to say, with AI and everything, we have provable video of Trump at a Diddy orgy and there were underage minors there and whatnot? Are you worried about that?
I think they're going to do whatever they have in their power to attempt to make it look like he's tied to anything bad at all. But like, and it's scary with AI because they can do so much weird stuff with AI. I'm so against AI, but I don't think they're going to be straight up to be able to like show that he's like in an orgy or something. I know he's not, but like, of course they're going to try to make it look like he is also part of it as much as they can, but if he was, he would be on their side in the first place. He wouldn't be trying to expose it. And he'd be doing all this as a Democrat, and that's not what he's doing. He's going up against them. So I feel like people with common sense can tell that doesn't have a part of it. But yeah, I think that they're going to try to tie him to any bad thing they can.
Here, I found I had to go to DuckDuckGo because, of course, you don't have, or Google doesn't show it, but this is the image of a little boy who's being like BDSM hung in a pool again. And if that is not young Anderson Cooper, I don't know what the fuck is.
Exactly. In his house where he grew up. Like, this is not just like a guy that looks like him in the painting in a different random pool. Like, this is literally where he grew up.
And this apparently is one of John Podesta's art pieces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Anderson Cooper worked for the CIA. Here, we're all going to take turns raping you from the ages of 3 to 10. But don't worry, by the time you age out of us, we're going to make sure that you get a scholarship to whatever school you want to go to. And then we're going to put you with the CIA, and you're going to be the face of CNN as time goes on.
Exactly. That's what they do. You should see if you can find a picture comparing Anderson and Kathy and see like there's
really. All right, let me look that up for a second here. I didn't know about that. While we're doing that, hang on. While I'm looking up that, let's pay some bills today. One more. Christy, would you do everyone a favor and tell them about all the awesome realtor services you offer and how they can get a hold of you? And if you're in Florida or New York or anywhere else and you need the number one realtor out there, if you don't call Christy St. Regis, you're a fucking communist.
Yeah, I actually have 3 real estate licenses, New York, New Jersey, and Florida. I've been doing it for years, but now I just do it for fun. Like, I don't have to do it for like other income means. So it's just really a hobby of mine. So I will definitely get you like your dream home or sell your dream home or whatever you need, and I'll just do it I mean, I'm not trying to sell you on anything. I'm literally just doing this to like help you out because I love doing it. So if you just find me in general, you can go to my Instagram, Christy Singregis, KristiSaintregis. You can just follow me on Instagram too.
Don't forget, kids, also, this is a Spreely.com production. All things speak freely. You want the Burn Pit podcast? You want Report and Opine? You want GMO or hormonal produced pumped in meat or whatever, unlike me? You can go to Spreely.com, check out news articles, a fully free speech social media site that you could say whatever you want without getting censored, banned. I just had an Instagram comment removed. I was quoting somebody and they literally removed it, whatever the case is. Spreely.com, your home, your exclusive home for free speech, because you're not a fucking commie. All right. If you want to promote your business, I don't care if you make coffee. I don't care if you knit cable knit sweaters for turtles. I don't care if you have a feet finder page. I don't give a shit what you do. If you want to promote it, call or text 708-982-0974. Send an email to rantsofizzo@gmail.com and say, Izzo, I'm a small American business. I got to pay my kids, or I got to pay my kids' tuition, so I got to show my butthole off on the internet. Would you please promote me on your show? And we will. All right. Yeah, dude, here's a photo. You're right. As usual, let me take a look at this. All right, there you go. There's a picture of young Anderson Cooper, that's on the right, and his brother, and they're saying that's Kathy Griffith in drag.
Yeah. Honestly, look at the mouths. Like it looks.
Yeah. Look at the eyes.
Yeah. And like look how similar Kathy and Anderson look.
Yeah, I've never heard of this, and I never saw this. Whoa.
But now, like, clearly this is a thing because people have merged these images to like show you.
Dude.
This was in Fall of the Cabal. I think that's where I found out.
No, well, I don't remember this part unless it was in part 2, which I never saw. But holy shit, that's intense.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Well, and you would have it. I mean, Anderson Cooper is gay, and Kathy, and if this is his brother, they would be trans. And I mean, Baphomet, who's one of their worshipped idols, is trans. Got a great pair of tits on a male goat. So I don't know.
Exactly. Like I think there's a lot more trans than we even know about. I mean, obviously we know about Michelle, but I think, it's very common. I don't know all of them, but I know those two.
That's ridiculous. But this gets back into, to circle back, youth sex trafficking and its myriad cruelties triple. I'm going to say this again. Youth sex trafficking and its myriad cruelties triple under President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, according to the report in thefreepress.com. Sex trafficking victims suffer horrific abuse. As I discovered when I spoke to people, Landon Dixon, the 36-year-old executive director for Bob's House of Hope in Denton, Texas, the only shelter for male sex trafficking victims ages 18 and up in the country. Dixon says that they have seen teens from Central and South America who've been so tortured by their traffickers they can barely function. Dixon describes caring for these teens who have brain damage from being so heavily drugged. I'm a sexual deviant, and I talk about it a lot on podcasts because I don't give a shit. I'm in the lifestyle, all this shit. I don't get any adult whose sexual pleasure comes from a drugged up or unwilling participant. It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. Daddy loves whores, but they have to be willing, eager, and able participants. How the fuck do you drug somebody and then nut when there's no, they can barely fucking move? I don't get that at all. Teens who have had... What's it?
Absolutely disgusting. But also, who gets off to kids and wants to do things to kids? Like, these are not normal people that we're talking.
No, and there's zero. I don't know if I believe in any type of rehabilitation at all in the world. When it comes to sexual offenses, they are an impulse. Like women I've dated in the past, if I've said, hey, listen, I'm in a lifestyle, blah, blah, whatever. Well, do you think you could ever go without that? And I'm going, yeah, maybe I could. No, you can't. I am into some very specific kink, and it will never be out of my psyche. It just never will. So that being said, if I can address it as an adult who I have consensual adult-based kink, if you are somebody who acknowledges, or it's proven, you have a sexual fetish for children, you cannot be rehabilitated. It's not possible. I truly believe, and this is where I believe that certain things stop having rights. Even if you are someone who you never act out on it, but you are actively fantasizing and masturbating over children, you need to be chemically castrated at the minimum. Your genes, your genetics cannot reproduce. They can't. You cannot spill it into the next generation. I don't believe that there's any rehabilitation for those people. I truly believe that they either put them on an island for themselves, or we lost Christy. We'll get it back on. Or you kill them all. They cannot be fucking repurposed into society. Hang on, my toe to jump back on. Jump back on. Jump back on. Dixon described caring for teens who have brain damage from being so heavily drugged. Teens who have had their fingernails poured out and lemon juice poured on the wounds. When I asked to interview their migrant residents, Dixon said they simply weren't in any condition to speak to anyone, much less a reporter. Quote, we think the cartels and gangs use torture as a control for the males. Dixon said they're not going to fight back, and they chain their victims to a radiator, beat them up, and frequently drug them. It's vile and it's disgusting. We have I should have looked at the chat. Thank you, Bev. I'm looking at Bev has her laptop died. Bev has a ton of photos that she put in the chat. If you are somebody who is oh my God, I want to see this one. Hang on. Whoa. Let me put this over here on the screen. Come on, man. I'm going to put the chat over here for everyone else to look at. This is what Bev sent. If you're not in the chat and you don't have privy for this, look at this for a second. This is Betty White is Barbara Bush's sister. Oh, hang on. I'm saving this one. We're going to look at this. For those of you who wanted to get involved with the chat, you can go ahead and click on any of the bio links, and you'll see that we have the Rants of Izzo show chat here. And where am I at? There we are. You can join and join in the fun. The abuse and prostitution may be forced on young migrants who are indebted to smugglers and their affiliated trafficking gangs in the United States. If they can't repay their debts, their families can lose farms and homes to the banks and hold loans. The number of rising youth sex trafficking cases were posted to the Department of Health and Human Services when the Free Press demanded the data under the Freedom of Information Act, and the agency is responsible for checking and issuing certifications of eligibility letters. The agency issued 1,143 letters in 2021, 2,226 letters in 2022, and 2,148 letters in 2024 under the welcome policies set by Border Chief Alejandro Mayorkas. The agency has not posted any data since the first week of September. The incomplete data adds up to 5,117 letters since October of 2020, or an average of 1,837 letters per year. Under Trump and his presidency, the number of letters averaged 562 per year, or just 1/3 the record reached under the guidance of pro-migration progressives. The number of child the number of child migration, or excuse me, number of child cases under Biden and Mayorkas is 3 times their adult caseload, according to the agency data. Because they have a fucking open border, dude. Absolutely open border. Oh. We see you. Yeah. This is technical difficulty that if you're a male audience or female audience, you don't mind that at all. Can you hear us now?
Yeah, sorry.
No, nobody was complaining. They saw your boobs. Look at this. I want you to see this because I didn't. Bev pulled this one up. I don't know if you've ever seen this. Boom. I gotta move it over. I'd always heard. I don't know if you know who Aleister Crowley is.
I don't know. Maybe if you start talking about him,
Aleister Crowley was a big Satanist. Anton LaVey, I think, took over for him and all this shit. And then Anton LaVey is clearly Taylor Swift's grandfather. But they're saying, so this is Barbara Bush. So this is something I want you to look at. Betty White is Barbara Bush's sister. The Bushes created OSS, CIA, and 322 Yale Skull and Bones. Barbara Bush and Betty White are the daughters of Aleister Crowley. Barbara handled all the politics for the CIA. Betty handled Hollywood. Betty was Snow White, Queen of Hollywood. So, okay, you've got these pictures kind of. Oh, here's Aleister Crowley on the left. You see him here?
Yeah.
Does he look like Barbara Bush?
Yeah.
And does Barbara Bush look like a man or a woman?
Oh, man.
Fucking A, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Like that, like the picture on the bottom with the blue shirt, like that. That does not look like a man.
That's a man.
Yeah.
That's a man.
Yeah.
Look at the jaw structure. I remember young Barbara Bush as a kid, when Dad, Herbert Walker, got elected. And so I was in high school, I think, at the time. I'm like, who the hell fucks that thing every night?
Yeah. No. But I think that about Hillary Clinton, too. And I don't think she's trans. I just don't understand why she's so ugly.
Let me explain something to you. I'm going to educate you on something.
She's a lesbian and she likes so that's female babies.
Now, all the evils of Hillary Clinton aside, I don't like her. I don't like her politics. Mm-hmm. I respect Hillary Clinton a lot because that bitch, now I don't like females in a position of leadership at all, but Hillary Clinton is ruthless. She's a rare 0.0001% ruthless human being that I respect that happens to be female. I will tell you from being around the block in the 50 years I've been on this planet, I will bet you anything Hillary Clinton is an insatiable fucking whore in bed. And Bill didn't want to be dominated, so that's why he went for more submissive women. 100%. Yeah,
I could see that. She's disgusting still, but I mean, she probably is like that.
She's a whore.
I think she honestly, I don't even know if she does it with Bill. I think she's a lesbian. I know for a fact when she does her pizza parties, it's like, well, I don't know for a fact, but I've heard that it's, the female children. It's not the male.
No, because she and Uma Aberdeen were allegedly in that Pizzagate video and they were torturing a young girl. And 100%, I can picture Hillary Clinton being very sexually dominant to women. That's her masculine energy.
It does.
Oh, God,
it does. Yeah. Maybe that's why she just looks like the way she does. Because she's so masculine. She just doesn't care.
Okay, wait a second. All right. I'm gonna put you in an impossible position. Hang on.
All right. Oh, great.
All right. Now, Christy St. Regis, you alone can save the world, and you alone can get Daddy Trump back in office. But you have to have depraved sexual relations with, here's your choices for the following. Jerry Nadwell or Hillary Clinton or Nancy Pelosi? Who are you choosing? Oh, you froze. Did you freeze? You got off light on that one. You got off light. Christy St. Regis got off light because her camera froze. I would pick Nancy Pelosi. If anybody's ever seen a younger version of Nancy Pelosi, yeah. There you go. So we have that going on. Holy shit. Whenever this show slides right in the toilet, we just make the most of it and go. So there you have it. Kids, that's your Tuesday show. All just a fucking 9-month abortion that today's show was, is what it is. If you are not familiar with Pizzagate, look into it. But don't use Google. You won't find too much stuff on it. Tomorrow, got the Burn Pit Podcast boys on. I'm sure they'll have some stuff to say about what happened for this week and every other show that we do. There you go. Other than that, make sure you go to Spreely.com and check out all the good things the network has to offer. Stop complaining about other social media, about other news and censored information when you have at your fingertips the platform of all platforms to wind up satisfying your needs for free speech. Spreely.com. They're not a flash in a pan. They've been here forever, and they're going to keep going on forward. Tally-ho. Yeah. Have a great damn day, kids. Remember, go out there, help somebody today. If you cannot help them, just do not hurt them. Have a great damn day, guys. I'll see you tomorrow for more of the Rants of Izzo here on Spreely.com.